Hey, Matt, congratulations on the win and the start to the season. Um, you got moved around sort of an awful lot tonight. Different groups of players, different spots on the floor. How much does that? Do you enjoy that in just playing the game that way?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's preseason, right? Coach is gonna try to put guys in different lineups out there to see who works and who plays well together. For me, I don't think my role changes regardless of who I'm out there with. I just have to be aggressive, obviously offensively, shoot the ball when I'm open, and when I can, create shots for others. A lot of times I draw two, or when I'm coming off screens, and I think I can make a simple play to get another guy's shot, and then on the other end of the floor, just being solid, being in gaps, just keep my guy in front of me and rebounding.
You had one in the first quarter where you drove and kicked it to OG, who made a three-pointer. Is that the kind of versatility to your game that you want people to see more of this season, and not just sort of be pigeonholed as a shooter, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, those are plays and simple plays that I know that I can make, and it's those have been plays I've made my entire life. At the same time, I'm going to play my role, but if there are opportunities for me to attack and close out, or if I'm playing off a DHO or a ball screen from time to time, I think I can be a playmaker. And like I said, on the scout report, everyone's guarding me as a shooter, and they don't want me to shoot the ball. So at times I will draw two, and sometimes just making a simple play. If you have two guys on you, somebody's open. So those are definitely plays that I look forward to making this season.
Great, thanks very much, and congratulations again.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Doug. Next we'll go to Josh Lewinberg from TSN.
Hey, Matt. Obviously, last year, the depth of the team and the bench play was such a big part of your success. It's going to look a little bit different this year in terms of the second unit. And Nick was just in here saying that he sees you being an important part of the rotation. What do you see the identity of the second unit being this year, and how do you fit into that? How can you, what can you bring to that group?
Yeah, I think our identity just needs to be the same that kind of was last year. Obviously, certain guys might have a little bit more expanded roles, but it's just going to depend on the game. We have to come in there and give us energy, just like we did tonight. Come in and provide a spark if we need to, or like if we need to just maintain and sustain the level of play that the first unit always provides every single game. So there's no drop off with us going in there. But I think that's what guys like myself, Terrence, Chris, if when Kyle's back, potentially, Norman being sixth man, that's stuff that, we love to do, and we're looking forward to doing this season.
It sounds like Malachi has been a really quick study in camp this week. What's it been like being around him, and what was it like sharing the court with him today?
Yeah, Malachi's been great. He's caught on to like the system and everything that we do here very, very quickly. He's obviously an extremely smart and skilled player. He's fun to play with too. He's a pass first point guard, and he sees the floor really well. And I've just been impressed by him, how professional he is. He comes into work, gets his stuff done, and just how quickly he's kind of adapted and to our offense and our schemes defensively. He's just a smart high basketball IQ player.
Great. Thanks, Matt. Have a good night.
Yeah, thanks, Josh.
Next, we have William Liu from Yahoo Sports Canada.
Hey, Matt, great game tonight. I wanted to ask you, after the bubble, sort of towards the end of that Celtics series, they were leaning on you quite heavily, in Game 7, Game 6, a couple of those games. What did the coaching staff say to you sort of in the exit interviews in terms of how you did in your rookie year, and sort of what your areas of focus would be heading into the offseason, and sort of what you could do in your second year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously for me, with last year being my first season in the NBA, coming from Europe, I didn't really have expectations with how the season was going to go. I think, a lot of the coaches in front office probably didn't know exactly how the transition would work for me. And my role was up and down. Last season as well, I had games where I played 20 minutes, games where I didn't play at all, and all that kind of fluctuated by whether or not, guys were healthy, or, how the games were going, different matchups, et cetera. But obviously in the bubble, I think I started playing well. I think I made a lot of improvements just in my game in that hiatus. I kind of approached it more so as an off season, got my body right, got my game right. And I went into that's kind of almost like a second season when we went into the bubble in a good place mentally and physically. And I think I played good basketball there. And now it's just kind of time to use that momentum that I finished with the season last year to try to, make a jump to be more of a consistent, rotational piece on this team, a guy that can come in every single night and help the team get wins.
That's awesome. And then I want to ask you a very niche specific question, but you had one of your 5 assists today was sort of a jump pass where you made, and I think you set up Utah Watanabe for 3. As a shooter, obviously people are always flying out you. They're always sort of almost overreacting to you. Like, how important is it to have that sort of passing element in your game where you have small tricks like a jump pass, making a quick, swinging the ball or something like that as a shooter?
Yeah, I think it's huge, and that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier with one of the previous questions. And that specific play you're talking about, I think I came off a pin down, and my guy was chasing me behind me, and the big was up. I'm coming off that, jumping up in the air, expecting to shoot, but if the big's up and there's 2 guys on me, it's like a split second kind of instinct decision to make that read and make that pass. And obviously that he knocked that that shot, wide open shot. But it just goes back to what I said. I'm gonna, on the scouting report, guys are gonna, fly at me. They're gonna try not to let me get shots off. So at times, I'm gonna be able to be a facilitator for my teammates.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
We'll go to Chris O'Leary from Raptors.com.
Hey, Matt. Just curious, just watching the game on TV, you see the big empty arena. What was the atmosphere or lack thereof like for you tonight to play in?
Yeah, it's different. I was just talking to Rovan before we started here. It's definitely different playing without fans, and different than the bubble as well, because it was, you're in a huge arena playing without fans, so it's a little different atmosphere. Something that we're gonna have to get used to, though. It's those are the times we're in, and at the same time, it's different and weird. And obviously, we all wish we could, be playing in front of fans, and we wish we could be up in Toronto playing in front of our own fans, but we're also just thankful that we're able to continue to play and do what we love every single day.
Is there an adjustment that you have to make as a shooter? Where, I imagine in some sense you kind of attach the sound of the crowd, as you're releasing and spotting up, those sounds are around you your whole life, and now they're not. Like, is that weird at all?
No, I think I said the same quote in the bubble when I was asked a different question about depth perception and stuff, but it's, the 3-point line is still the same distance, the hoop's still 10 feet, the ball's the same size, same weight. So as a shooter, I don't really think about anything else.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Matt. We've got one more for you this evening from Lewis with Raptors Republic.
Hey, Matt, great game tonight. General question. Nick was complimenting your defense tonight. Seemed like, not that it was bad by any means last year, but seems like it improved. I wanted to ask about the specifics. How do you go about, you're not going to grow, your arms aren't getting longer. What do you do in the gym to go and just get better at that for earning that rotation spot?
Are you sure my arms can't get longer? If I get with a nutritionist or something, I can find a supplement to grow the arms. But no, you make a good point. A lot of it is just, watching film, learning our defensive schemes. I think for me last year too, coming in, it takes some time to obviously adjust to just the speed, size, athleticism of the NBA game, and then also just learning our schemes and our defensive concepts and principles to the point when they're second nature. And kind of going back to what I was saying too, my role last year was so up and down. It was hard to get, consistent minutes. And so that's hard too, because, the best way to learn is experience. So as I've gotten more time and more minutes, I think I've just become more comfortable on both ends of the floor. But defensively, definitely just something that it's an area of focus for me. Teams are gonna, they're gonna target me and they're gonna go at me. So that's something that I need to just kind of hold myself accountable to, have pride in myself to go out there and get stops, stay in front of guys. And that's something I worked on all off season. Like I said, whether it's watching film or just working on my body, getting stronger, getting quicker laterally. But no, it's an ongoing process. Just like, overall, just trying to improve my game every single day. But I think I'm taking steps in the right direction.
And not to put words in your mouth, you mentioned working on your body, the weight room. Would you say the head aspect is more important? Like it's more important to be smart than to be stronger? Or, they're just both aspects, no comparison?
Yeah, I mean, you need both, right? I can't really say one is more important than the other. Obviously you have to have the size, athleticism, and physically be able to, play defense, right? But yeah, if you're smart and you know where to be, and the rotations, and guys' tendencies that guys are defending, whether you're forcing right, left, they're a shooter, close out short, fly them off the line, etc. If you know all those details, it's gonna help you out.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much, man.
Yeah, you're welcome.